Yo, what's good? It's your man 100 grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. Today I want to do this video about Cade Cunningham and why I think he's going to be the most improved player of the NBA next season. Yo, if you like the video, smash the like button for me. I really appreciate all the love and support and definitely all the fun comment and dialogue that we have in the chat section beneath. But yo, I want to do this video because I seen this really cool video by Hoop Intellect. Really cool dude, has a great channel. Go check him out on YouTube. Keandre, he does some great content, and he did this video which was kind of a blend, right? And I wanted to kind of address this a little bit too in this video, where he talks about NBA players who will break out in 2023 and also most improved players. Now, the reason why I start off with Cade Cunningham is going to win the most improved player is because there are some very specific ways in which players have to be positioned to win this award. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit here. One, you have to already be at a level that the league has taken notice of you, because this allows media to begin to build narratives that actually get everyone on board, right? Now, building a narrative is a really powerful thing, right? Sometimes it all often gets used as a negative against players like, you have a Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Stephen Curry. Narratives get created around these players in order to spin media so that they get fans moving in a particular direction, and that increases traffic flow to the different topics that the NBA or news media outlet wants to kind of focus on, right? But it's to say that when you understand that function, you understand why it's important that somebody has already positioned themselves to have a narrative created about them. In other words, if you have not already had a breakout year, if you have already not elevated your game to where there's kind of a national, broad understanding of who you are as a player, and getting this recognition, you're probably not going to win the most improved player award, right? Because the thing is, if they start, trying to push for, like, let's say Wendell Carter Jr. to win it, right? Wendell Carter Jr. may not be known outside of that small market in Orlando and Chicago, right? The two teams that he's played for. Or let's say they try to push for a player who's in an even smaller market, like they're saying, like, oh, James Bouknight might have a breakout season and might even win Most Improved Player in Charlotte. Well, James Bouknight, for all his potential and talent, hasn't even garnered a huge name in Charlotte because he didn't get enough playing time last season. So even though with the Miles Bridges situation and his likely suspension next year, and their desperate need for scoring on the wings and the opportunity he's going to get, how he might have this great year, they're not going to create a narrative around him. They're not going to funnel all these resources for their media outlets to be able to move viewership towards attention to videos and content created around him. He hasn't done enough, right? And so what you're really looking for are players who have already elevated their names in conversations, who already have a high profile in terms of notoriety, right? This is why Jordan Poole was in the running for Sixth Man of the Year, because he's in a team that already has a lot of attention. Or you have Anthony Simons, right, who people already saw coming, but was having a great year, but because he was in a small market, he really got undervalued, right? Or Tyrese Maxey, who came out of nowhere, right? But everybody was really looking at Joel Embiid and James Harden, right? This is why somebody like John Morant, who already had his breakout year the year before, ended up winning that award, right? Because they're not going to spend all these narratives and invest all these resources into elevating a player that people don't really look at, that people aren't necessarily really invested in on a large scale. Not the actual team franchise, not the actual fan base of that particular team, right? Because they might know about them. But I'm talking about on a national level, right? This is why John Morant was able to get those votes, because they could spin the narrative and they can focus media attention on him because people were already looking at him since the year before when he made the playoffs, right? When he led his team to the playoffs, right? When he was having this great year, and all of a sudden they're like, yo, this year he's practically an MVP candidate. Well, you're probably not going to get the MVP because you still got this Nikola Jokic guy and Joel Embiid guys who have already been creating this kind of large scale narrative about themselves. So we're going to go ahead and give it to Ja Morant for most improved, while those guys are in the running for the MVP. Now, where does this leave Cade Cunningham? Cade Cunningham, he's a player who was already in the running for Rookie of the Year last season. But if you saw the second half of the season last year, he had this tremendous, tremendous push for Rookie of the Year. He was averaging over 20 points a game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He was putting up some historic numbers, right? That if he had sustained it for a full season, right, from the very beginning, we would be talking about him like the Penny Hardaways, the Luka Doncic, the LeBron James, the Michael Jordans, who have these historic rookie years, right? But that's to say, he fell short. Scotty Barnes won it, rightly so. I thought Scotty Barnes had the best sustained rookie season, played at a high level, and a part of a winning franchise. Was able to get into the playoffs. He played a big part of that. I thought he earned it, right? But when you're looking at a most improved player award for the following season, it's not just you have to have a name, you also have to have the opportunity. And this is another key aspect of this. One, Cade Cunningham has already put his name out there. He was the number 1 pick in last year's draft, second runner-up or third runner-up in the Rookie of the Year voting last season. So people know about him. The next aspect is that you are going to have the opportunity. And when I say the opportunity, it's not just that you're going to be starting. It's not just that you're going to have touches, right? To win these awards, you cannot be the second option on your team. Let me say that again. To win these awards, most improved player, right? MVP, right? You're not the second option. You're the first option. You are the primary option. You are the dominant option for your team. Why is that important? Because if you're the second option, it's very likely that you're going to give other people an opportunity who are the first option a chance to surpass you in terms of what they produce throughout the season. And even if they don't produce to the same level that you are, they're going to look at them differently because they're going to say they have a heavier load because they're the number 1 option. They're the player that the best defender is going to guard, right? Not the second option. You're going to have the second best defender. And definitely not if you're the third or a tertiary option, right? You're not going to win this award. And this is what's going to eliminate so many of the guys that are mentioned in Hoop Intellect's video, right? Even somebody like a Ant-Man, right? Anthony Edwards, right? We would assume that he would be in the running for most improved player. But what he's going to have to overcome is that Karl Anthony Towns is still the number 1 option. D'Angelo Russell is still the primary ball handler who also likes to shoot a lot. They just brought in Rudy Gobert. They're going to have to figure out how to incorporate him. You're going to have a lot of moving pieces on this team, and he's not going to be the primary focus, right? He's not going to have the opportunity to really say, I am that guy, right? Now, you might say, yes, he is. You saw what he did last year, and I'm here for that argument. Everybody knows I'm with the shits. I love the smoke. Come at me. Let me know in the comment section what you think Anthony Edwards is going to be able to overcome all that. I don't think so. I don't think so. Who is going to be able to not even have to deal with that, though, is someone like a Cade Cunningham. Now, I also got other guys who are going to be runner-ups for me, like a Tyrese Halliburton, right, who's going to be given the keys, right? They're going to be like, yo, go ahead and run the show, right? He's going to be somebody that is going to have an opportunity to win a Most Improved Player award. But I think that this one is going to go to Cade Cunningham because of his level of talent, right? His level of talent. We already compared him to Luka Doncic coming out of college, out of Oklahoma State, right? We saw all these different things about him: his size, the way he moves his body, his craftiness, his basketball IQ, right? And in the second half of his rookie year, we saw it on display. Now, Jeremy Grant has been traded. Jaden Ivey has been drafted. And this team, even Corey Joseph, who was a secondary ball handler, right, has been traded away. This team is 100% cemented around Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is going to get all the shots he wants, all the opportunity he wants. He's going to have a chance to not just dominate the ball, but to maximize every aspect of his game. I fully expect him to be somewhere around 22 to 24 points a game, probably likely around 6 to 7 assists, 6 to 7 rebounds. I think that's what we're looking at here when it comes to his sophomore season. And if he can do that with at least okay to good percentages and efficiency, if he can do something around 46%, I would say anywhere between 44 to 46% from the field, if he can shoot it at anywhere between 34 to 35% from three, right? And have a lower amount of turnovers, maybe only 2 to 3 turnovers a game. But he puts up 24, 6 and 6, or 24, 5 and 5, somewhere around there. Yo, I think it's going to be hard to not give him this award. Because when you look at somebody like a Luka Doncic, right? His jump that he made from his rookie year to his sophomore season was huge. Trae Young, too. His rookie year to his sophomore year was huge. These guys were in the All-Star game that very next year. I think Cade Cunningham is going to have a similar jump. He's going to have a similar jump. And I don't think that there's any other player out there who is going to have an opportunity to make this type of a jump. Now, you might also be able to throw out LaMelo Ball, right? He was an all-star last year, but I think there might be a bigger role. And I think there's definitely more that he can do. But I don't think that he's going to win. And I don't think that it's going to look good, right? I don't think that he's going to be this super efficient player. And I don't think that he's going to be able to take over games the same way that Cade Cunningham can. I'm not saying that he can't. I'm saying not the same way. But as always, I want to know what everyone else thinks. I love chatting with y'all in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Do you think Cade Cunningham is a shoo-in, a lock for the most improved player, right? Or do you think it's somebody else? I mentioned Tyrese Halliburton. I mentioned LaMelo Ball. Shit, I even threw out Anthony Edwards, who I don't think is going to be able to do it. But I want to know what y'all think. Holla at me in the comment section. Like the video. Subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. I'm going to get at y'all next time. Peace.